First of all, we take this opportunity to welcome all the media houses that are here at this brief press conference. At the moment, we have the president in house. Thank you very much for welcoming him, plus all the members of Parliament from Uganda. Honorable, you're welcome to Canada. So briefly, we are just going to tell you the program, how it's going to be for the trip, all for the president's based in Canada. The president is going to be with us. Unfortunately, we want to send an apology to our colleagues in Edmonton. We couldn't manage to go there. The president is sick, he's not feeling well, so sorry for that. He's very tired. And but the arrangements are there, just to see that maybe next week we can manage to catch up with them. So everyone in Edmonton, don't worry, we are making some special arrangements to see that we can see how best you meet the president, because we know the love you have towards him. So today we have in the program, we are welcoming the president in Canada. Then we are going to have our main event tomorrow. The event is starting at 9, so everyone just be aware. There's a lot of events that are going to happen tomorrow, which we are not going to disclose now because this is a brief press conference, just to analyze what exactly is going to happen. Then later in the day, we expect just to enjoy ourselves as NUP party, just to relax with the president and the honorable members of Parliament. Then on Sunday, we have a very tight schedule. We expect to be at Dominion Church. We shall communicate the time. We expect to visit Uganda Matters Church. And also we are going to be visiting the Umokat, the mosque. Then after, we are going to be having match. So there is a number of teams that have organized themselves just to attend. I don't know the number. So we have a very big event tomorrow, and the president is going to be handing over the trophy to the leading team. After there, we are going to go to the boat cruise. So the boat cruise is going to be starting at exactly 6. The president is going to be there, so kindly have that information. After the boat cruise, on Monday, the members who are willing to join the president, we are going to be at Ottawa. We are going to confirm the time, but there are some special arrangements that are going to be going on, at least to meet the Parliament of Canada. So we shall be letting you know how the progress is going to be on that. So basically, that's a brief information of the Gen exercise, how everything is going to happen. Then I'm going to invite my colleague, Honorable Senyonyi, just to do a briefing, to talk to you, and then we shall allow some few questions from you, then we call it a day. Thank you very much.
Mwa guys story kinaye. Mwagala okunjogeza oluzungu. Kale tuli Canada kandogere. It's good. Tuli Kyadondo. Wali wenyini ku base. Jabbi mixing amuko kayala kubanga ndabemu wano abalipotingira amangere kakati izo bachankalanya. So I'll see how to mix. One, we want to appreciate our Canada chapter for the warm welcome to our president. Is that because I was in touch with him, telling him just alert me as you get out. So I told him, we're just here about 5 people to kulinze. But he's excited. He's re-energized. He's a little exhausted, as correcting Comrade Ronald. He's not sick, he's just a little exhausted because he returned from Arua. Our last activity for the countrywide tour was in Arua. Arua to Kampala is about 9 hours. As soon as he got to Kampala, he had to then run to the airport, and then it's been a lengthy journey, so he's a little exhausted, resting a bit. He could not join us here, but tomorrow he'll be with us on fire. So once again, thank you for welcoming us. We look forward to connecting with you all. Tubadde Uganda nga tubayisamu eggaali tugabe ne Canada katuje tubayiseemu eggaali. Because for us this is it's not so different from what we've been doing in Uganda, the countrywide tour. The setting and the organization might be a little bit different, but we said let's connect with the people wherever it is that they are. We said we shall find them in villages, in gardens, in nice sleek hotels like this one, to connect with them and to continue drumming down the message of change. And so that's why we are here, to hear from you. We believe you have many incredible ideas, to also tell us from where you are. How are things happening? What more can we do together? Because you see, you guys are this side, but your hearts are back home. Sure. I dare say that majority, if not all of you, are here because of the conditions back home. You know, either the economic conditions, the political conditions. Many of you are on the run. You know, the moment you step back in Uganda, nga bakukaba, nga bakusiba nyali mujimanyi. And so generally the conditions, you know, have pushed you people to be this side, but you want a better country. And that's what we are all working towards. And never should you feel at any one time that, but me, I'm not in Uganda on the front line, I am not making a contribution. You're making a contribution, those that are, wherever you are, in various ways. You know, on social media, you guys, I'm told, are organized. You normally do fundraising for different activities here and back home and so on. All that you're doing adds value back home. So we have come for you to energize us and hopefully for us to energize you a little bit, but to see how we continuously together push the struggle. I'll end with this for now. You see, we have come to the conclusion that the regime, which many people are afraid of, munange bugaye buno bututya nnyo ge mazima ate tebututya ffe nga ffembu ng'abakulembeze mbu Kyagulanyi yadde abazitizingi muganda ne kakati bugaye olati kati nkusinga ne bode okoze. They fear us, the people of Uganda, who are desirous for change. I was in the media for what, over 14 years. I'd never seen a diaspora community of Ugandans as organized as the one we see today. Yeah. And that's not to say that there were no people in these countries, Ugandans in these countries, who were desirous for change. I'm sure they were there, but maybe there was a missing glue to hold them together, an orderliness of sorts, which you guys have, and your leadership. And that's why I want to salute your leadership. You know, these guys are doing an incredible job to make sure that you guys are properly knit together. Because I had never, I've been around for a little bit, I've not seen a diaspora community that is as organized. We see this in the US, we see this in Europe, we see this in Canada, in South Africa, in many parts of the world. Ugandans are out there, they're extremely organized, and they're doing all they can to fight for change back home. So I want to salute you and to encourage you not to drop the ball. So we hope that you keep doing the same. Yeah, so majorly that's what we are here for.
Okay. 76 media.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're asking 76 questions.
Joel, we forget. But anyways, I'm really so happy to see you, Joel, and especially when I was actually fleeing Uganda. Unfortunately, I couldn't connect with you like earlier on said. My question, and especially I'm speaking based on the time I've actually been here, is majorly to the party and to the leadership generally. Many, just like you rightly said, majority of us have actually fled our homes. And I'm just curious to know what's the party's sort of framework to sort of, bring people back home, especially when, NUP takes up leadership. Because most people are still afraid. The transition process, as you know it in Uganda, is not very clear, but we have hope, and especially when we see very strong men and women trying to sort of put up that sort of, force. So we basically, and on behalf of diaspora, individuals, we just really want to know as diaspora, what are those plans that the National Unity Party has for Ugandans in diaspora? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Maybe we can ask questions that are right and respond that one.
Okay, what exactly is going to happen? You ask the questions, we write them down, then we can respond later.
76 Media was asking what's the plan to get people back home, especially when we take charge. I'm glad we are going to take charge. We just need to work hard towards that. Look, whether it be Canada, whether it be the US, whether it be whatever, even as close by as Kenya, Ugandans are leaving Uganda not because they want to go and tour. You guys are not here on holiday. Some of you are in shelters. Yes. And life is not easy for you. I was speaking to some young ladies earlier on, saying, we are in shelters and we are sleeping on the floor, but we have hope we'll eventually break through, get work to do, and so on. Yeah, you're not here on holiday. You are here because the situation back home is deleterious. So ultimately, the remedy, the ultimate remedy to all of these challenges we are grappling with is a sane government that is mindful of the people and that gets to serve the people. What do I mean? If you want me to break that down a little bit, we, on an annual basis, we have about, give or take, 400,000 young people that are ready to hit the job market. They've gone to school, they have a degree, diploma, certificate, or whatever the case might be. But they are out there and there's not much working for them. We have people who maybe had a job, but again, it was not moving as well as should. And so you thought, let me look for a better opportunity. Some of you had lost employment. Some of you, like I said, you were being politically persecuted because of what you believe. Yeah? A leadership scholar called John Maxwell, I hope you guys read, do some reading. It's important to read. There's a leadership scholar called John C. Maxwell. He's written many books on leadership. He said something I believe very strongly, that everything rises and falls on leadership. And there's another Ghanaian scholar, Professor Steve Ade, who once said, leadership is cause, everything else is effect. What that means is that everything that happens anywhere, it's leadership. Whether it be good, whether it be bad. I visit our ghettos as an MP and as a leader, and I interact with our people, and I'm glad our people are beginning to realize that the high cost of the tomatoes they buy in the market It's connected to leadership. The high fuel prices, leadership, whether you like it or not. That they go to hospital and they're giving birth on the floor. It's leadership. It's a leadership question, ultimately. And so we must fix that leadership question, okay, so that we begin to deliver services. Ugandans should not have to, should only leave to go elsewhere, maybe as expatriates. Not out of dire need, that you have left your country and you are somewhere in a shelter and you're struggling with that because nothing is working for you in Uganda. That has got to stop. And it can. On an annual basis, I sit in Parliament and many times we are quarreling over things that I think should be simple. I see how that budget is allocated, the budgetary allocation, and we make noise and say, but you know what guys, this is more important. And for them, trillions of shillings into classified is more important. But what does the classified budget do? Of course, every government needs to have a classified budget, but it should be justified. It should be tethered to your economic muscle as a country. But you have trillions of classified. Which war are we fighting? Even the war we are at in Somalia, somebody else is picking up the bill. The war in Congo, there's a separate vote passed by Parliament for that. And so, to stay in power, that means everything else will suffer. Service delivery will suffer. Nothing else will work because how do I keep my seat? Nothing else matters. That's why, and as I'll be addressing the question of the elections, one of the challenges, we go to these by-elections, and people are lining up to be given 3,000 shillings. That's how much was being given in Omoro. 3,000 shillings.
Kayunga was 1,000.
Kayunga, he says, was 1,000. There you are. We were in which other by-election? 4,000, 2,000, and people line up. Why? Because they are poor. So that 2K is a life changer for at least one more week for them. We had cooperatives in our country. Some of you are fairly older than me, so you know these things. And this government destroyed cooperatives. Why? Because empowered people are difficult to rule. Eh? Yeah, because you're not going to give an empowered person 2K to vote for you. No, they want better. They want service delivery. But our cooperatives were destroyed deliberately so that people can be poor and then they are easy to lead. But with cooperatives, people were empowered. They had money to take their children to good schools. When their child was sick, they'll take them to hospital. They were able to meet their basic needs, yeah? But this government does not want that. And how then the NRM candidate, he didn't even have half the votes we had. But Museveni said, I will declare the one that I want. You know, and so they are that adamant. But it's good that we went to Kayunga, one, to bring that to the fore, to capitalize on that and to keep working towards it. And the final question was from Isaac, who was saying, yes, how are we coordinating with other countries, especially change-seeking entities? Some things, of course, we cannot say, with all these cameras and so on, but we have got friends that are watching what's happening in Uganda. We have got sympathizers across the world, because what's happening in Uganda is different. And now some of them had also thought, like the regime of these guys, do they still reverberate with the population? But with the countrywide tours, they're saying,
Juliet Simba, ndi commedia team ya NUP Canada Chapter, naliko top media consortium. Era soko kwebaza NUP kwena funire mpapula zange neyanza. Ekibuzo kyange akigamba